So Alpha, you said something that resonated with me when you said we should open the horizon, not for us, but for everyone. And that reminded me of something that our Dean, Dr. Griffith Brown, would refer to, that at Thunderbird we know talent is everywhere, opportunity isn't. And we recognize that as our job to provide that opportunity. And of course that is not something Thunderbird can do alone. We need partners like yourself, Alpha, like Kristen Allen and Kristen Allen's of the Phoenix metropolitan area. Thunderbird School of Global Management, which I have the honor of serving actually for 6 years now, and being a graduate of, is a school that established on the ashes of the Second World War with the exact same thought of we have to open the horizon. We should move away from a war like what we experienced, the world experienced during the Second World War. And their lens to do so was to start training people from all over the world on how to trade, how to have a global mindset, how to embrace differences but focus on similarities. And the motto at the time was, borders frequented by traders seldom need soldiers. Well, 78 years after, we are here now with the same exact values, and I actually had the privilege of seeing and meeting one of the older faculty members, and one of my professors actually is sitting here, and we learned from them. Thunderbird provides degree and non-degree programs focusing on global management and leadership. We also have 16 different concentrations to make sure that while we are staying true to our original values, we also still keep an eye on the future and train the leaders for the future. And beside our programs, we also have numerous initiatives. I will give you a few examples and then I will pass it on to my colleague to provide more details on the most recent and the most ambitious one. But we have an extensive women empowerment program. We call it Dream Builder or Dream Catcher, both in partnership with Freeport McMoran. We have a Mazarine Center for Family Business and Entrepreneurship that focuses on training entrepreneurship to people all around the world with a huge focus on Latin America. And and again, referring to the same one, the most recent and the most ambitious one is Najafi Global 100 Million Learners Initiative. With that, and thank you, Alpha, for having us here. It has been an honor to have been working with you. With that, I would like to pass it on to my colleague, Chairman, to talk more about 100 million learners.
Thank you, and thank you, Alpha, for having us here this evening. It's truly a privilege to be here to celebrate and the change makers, individuals that are improving lives in the communities here and abroad. As Galla mentioned, Thunderbird is a very special place, and it's with ASU, which is all about inclusivity and opportunities for all. And as we know in today's education system, not just here but abroad, that it's limited, right? Access to education is very limited. And for this reason, and through the generosity of Francis and Deanna Jaffe, they're both alums of Thunderbird, and they wanted to give back in a big way, to give this opportunity to people who don't normally have the any access or options. And the success that they have today is because they owe it to Thunderbird for what they learned. And they wanted to share this high quality education to people around the world. And so that's how 100 million learners came about. The program itself, 100 million learners, it's very ambitious. Yes, I know the number. It's a large scale that we're aiming to reach. But the goal is to give access to high-quality education. It's an online digital platform that is free for all, that covers all levels of education, from your master's to your bachelor's to high school, and to those that don't normally have any education, who doesn't have any formal education. So the great thing about this program is you get to earn a certificate in entrepreneurship, innovation, and leadership. And what really raises an eyebrow when I share this with partners is that it's never been done before. For free, you get academic credits. So if you want to do a master's degree, you already have, through this online program, you've already covered half of your master's program. So you just have to apply to be a student, and you pay for the other half. And then in emerging markets, we have scholarships for students that can't pay. So it truly is a program that reaches communities at all levels. And so I have the privilege to be working on the partnership end. So I talk to government officials, NGOs, private sector, leaders from all over. Actually, this morning I spoke to the office of Zelensky's office. So we're translating the program in Ukrainian. And we have partnered with the Minister of Education in Jamaica, in Africa, through Alpha's. He's a key champion, and really, Alpha, you are incredibly support and all the guidance you've given us to reach officials and to bring this opportunity to Africa. So with that, I want to thank you, and we have a little something for you for all your effort, and I want to first congratulate you on your success. And so with Gazelle and I, maybe you go ahead. Yeah, sure. So we want to give you a certificate of recognition in appreciation, let me see here, of your valuable partnership and support of Thunderbird School of Global Management's Francis and Diana Jaffe 100 Million Learners. Your efforts in promoting the initiative and recruiting learners have contributed significantly to our mission of providing high-quality, accessible global education and fostering inclusive prosperity worldwide. So, thank you very much, Alpha.
Thank you very much. I'm going to put my son on the spot here. I know you're not expecting this. So everybody meet my son, Chris. And I have always told him that he needs to go through this program. He hasn't done it yet. So you need to make a commitment that you're going to go through this program. Everybody. Yes. Okay. So thank you very, very much. This means a lot. And just for context, even when you have very, very good programs, it takes a lot of work and time, as we have spent countless hours on Zoom meetings, emails, phone calls, texting with officials, all over, from Burundi to Ghana to Botswana to the Gambia. And it is the thankless nature of the impact that we create that drives us when we don't see any results visible. So when you are really going for something bigger than yourself, you just go and you keep taking shots, and sometimes you get rejected because it doesn't work. But when you understand that it's not about you and it's about other people, I mean, it always works out. And we are making some progress, aren't we? All right. Thank you very much.
Forget Sierra Leone.
Oh yes, oh yes. Oh, she mentioned Sierra Leone, and I guess we'll set that later on because our Sierra Leone partner is getting recognized tonight, and so I guess good. Thank you.
So ASU hosts 45 of those 700 fellows, And when they're here at AHC, they participate in a 6-week program that exposes them to good governance here in the United States, as evidenced through Arizona. And they learn about various levels of government. They also learn about our spirit of volunteerism. And we also get paired up with mentors, one-on-one with mentors. And we've had the pleasure of having Alpha volunteer as a mentor each year with the fellow. So it is through that Manila Washington Fellowship that I've had the pleasure of meeting Alpha. And Alpha, I congratulate you on the launch of your foundation. I'm sure it's going to be successful, as is everything you touch. So that's the Manila Washington Fellowship in a nutshell. I also want to speak to a little bit about what I do when I'm not hosting the Manila Washington Fellowship over the summers. I manage this Arizona Certified Public Manager Program. That is a 9-month leadership development program for managers in government. So it's a 9-month leadership program for people who work for their cities, counties, states, the state. And we also try to expose them to leadership skills and good governance. So the Manila Washington Fellowship program was modeled after what we've been doing in the Arizona Certified Public Manager Program for years. So that's the connection between the two programs. Thank you. I appreciate the work you do. And I look forward to many more years of collaborating.
I want to start the evening by saying thank you all for sacrificing your time to be here tonight. And I also want to thank Alpha and his team at Excellence and Impact Foundation for the incredible honor of having me as the keynote speaker for tonight. I see a lot of familiar faces in the room, and so I thank you for being here. Of course, having lived here for 11 years, it always feels like coming home whenever I'm back in Phoenix. So I was born and raised in Cameroon, in the remote village in the northwest province, in a family of 16 brothers and sisters. Now, if you're wondering, my father had 2 wives. And my mother alone had 11 of us. 9 of us are still alive. I'm smack in the middle, so I have 4 ahead of me and 4 behind me. But we all grew up in the same compound, in abject poverty. If you think about growing up without electricity, 2004 is not too far away. Our village did not have electricity until 2004. And that means studying with a bush lamp, a kerosene lamp. Sometimes the globe breaks and you have to devise a different method to study. And that's how I went through elementary and secondary school. Now, at a very tender age, I knew education was the only way to break that poverty cycle. So I took my education very seriously. And I was always in the top 3 of my class. Actually, the first more than I was second or third. Despite being kicked out of class multiple times a year because my parents could not afford the fees. In the late 1990s and early 2000s, I had to cut hair. I ran a barber shop with my cousin on the weekends and on market days, and that's how I paid my way through secondary school. Now, for the folks in the room who are older, think about where you were in 1993. And I want you to picture a young boy walking barefoot to school for miles because his parents could not afford a pair of shoes. That kid cutting hair on the weekends to pay his way through school will eventually become the first in the 12-year history of the school to pass in all 11 subjects at the GCE ordinary levels. This achievement caught the attention of an extended family member who decided to sponsor me through high school and eventually university. I went to university, studied banking and finance, and eventually graduated as the best student in banking and finance. Another achievement. In my final year of college, I won the diversity lottery, which a lot of people in the room know about. And so I spent the last year processing immigration paperwork to come to the States. As many of you in the room know, when you come here in late 2010s, healthcare was sort of the only way out. People would tell you you have to start as a certified nursing assistant, go on to become a, what is it called, a PRN or something, and then you become an RN. And if you're passionate enough, you go on to become a doctor or a pharmacist, whatever the case may be in healthcare. So my aunt forcefully registered me for a CNA class, a CNA certified nursing assistant. And I attended this class for 2 weeks, and I kept telling myself, I have no idea what I'm doing here. And for 2 weeks, I canceled the class. I lost half of the money. The reason being, I was always passionate about financial services. After multiple applications and interviews and rejections, I eventually landed my first job as a courtesy clerk at a Safeway store. Now, I had no idea what a courtesy clerk did. And so on my first day on the job, I was well dressed in a black pair of pants and a shirt and a tie, very excited on the floor. And this young lady stopped me and said, "Sir, are you the new service manager?" And I proudly said, "No, I'm the new courtesy clerk." And then she gave me this look and said, "You're too dressed nice to be a courtesy clerk." I said, "Well, maybe I need to check my job description. What does a courtesy clerk do?" Well, if you're wondering, courtesy clerks, when you go to the store, they're the ones collecting carts when people shop and leave carts in the parking lot. They're collecting those and bringing them to the front of the store. They're helping little old ladies back groceries and take them to their car. That was my job. And in Oregon, back then, they recycle cans and bottles. If you've ever put cans and bottles in a trash bag and kept them for a week or two, you know that smell that comes out of it. So the recycle machine was constantly jamming. And guess whose job it is to unjam it? You guessed that right, the courtesy clerk. So I would get called every 30 minutes to unjam the recycle machine. So fast forward, I spent about 3 months in my courtesy clerk role, and then eventually land a part-time job at US Bank as a teller. Now, that was my first sort of step into the financial services industry. I spent about 9 months in that role, moved to Arizona in 2012, spent about 3.5 years at Wells Fargo, working with some incredible people, incredible co-workers who turned friends. Matt Jackson, Rene Rojas, thank you for being here tonight. So many years ago, and we continue to go along as friends. I then moved to Vanguard in 2015. I spent nearly 7 years working with, again, some of the most amazing people I've ever come across, one of whom is my former manager, Mike Manfrey, who is here tonight as well. Mike is the best manager I've ever worked for, and so I want to say thank you for your mentorship, thank you for your support all these years. Even as I progressed in my career, I didn't stop pursuing education. So I earned an MBA in finance from Grand Canyon University right here in Phoenix, passed a bunch of industry certifications, including the CFA Charter, which is one of the most challenging exams in the world. And today, I am honored to stand before you as a senior vice president at one of the most respected and biggest investment management firms in the world. I share this journey not to boast, but to inspire, especially the younger folks among us. We are privileged to live in the best country in the world. I encourage you to take advantage of the opportunities this country offers by leveling the playing field. Make sure you're the best at what you do. As you will see, it is absolutely possible to achieve anything that you can put your mind to and your heart in this country. All the honorees tonight are a testament to that. So I encourage you, take advantage of the opportunities. We all know where we come from. The opportunities don't exist as you would expect. The governments have failed in most cases. And so it is upon us. If you find yourself in, again, the best country in the world, be proud of it. Take advantage of that. And a piece of advice for the folks who are thinking, okay, how did you accomplish this much? I would say, be the best at what you do. Whether it's being a courtesy clerk at Safeway or a teller at US Bank, be the absolute best at it, because people will notice. My mentor gave me a 3-level jump. That was unheard of at the time. Sorry for putting you on the spotlight. But that is because you do good work and it gets recognized. So put in the effort. And as far as you continue to do the best in your current job, make sure you are taking the steps, whether it's through education, certifications, to position yourself for that next opportunity when it does present itself. Like many of you, I carry with me stories of love and loss. Stories that have shaped me, my path, and everything that now drives me. But a few experiences in life compared to the agony of watching loved ones go, especially the ones that are near and dear to your heart. For me, that was not just once, but twice. My father and my mother, who both passed away from a heart attack. Coincidentally, both in my arms, 11 years apart. In 2010, my father fell ill, and I took him to the hospital. He walked on his 2 feet, was cracking jokes. The nurses were laughing. Next thing I know, they gave him a shot, and it sparked a heart attack. The nurses stood idly by and watched as I held my father and watched him gasp for air until he took his last breath. I didn't know any better. Now I know somebody could have attempted CPR to try and save his life. They could have called the doctor. I was heartbroken, devastated. But 3 months after his funeral, I would have to pack up my luggage, bid farewell to friends and family, and take a one-way flight to the United States. Fast forward, I eventually bring my mother to the United States, who had been battling diabetes and high blood pressure for over a decade. And in November 2021, right here in my home in Gilbert, Arizona, she too had a heart attack in the early morning of November 15. And just like my father, I held my mother helplessly and watched her take her last breath before the paramedics got there. These events traumatized me. I was left with 2 options. One, allow the pain to drive me down this spiral web. Or I could turn that pain and channel it into something positive. I chose the latter. I decided to turn that trauma into hope for my community. And that's why I founded the Peace and Comfort Heart Foundation, a 501c3 that is registered here in the United States, with a mission to reduce heart disease and save lives in Cameroon and across Africa. For many years, much of the health focus in sub-Saharan Africa has been directed towards diseases like malaria and HIV. And while this attention is critical, that means cardiovascular disease has kind of taken a back seat. But it is one of the top killers in the country and across Africa, because a lot of people like my father go on for years with either diabetes or high blood pressure undiagnosed. And by the time they fall seriously ill and go to the hospital, it might be too late. So, as an extension of My Heart Foundation, I decided to build a hospital in Cameroon, called the Peace and Comfort Medical Foundation. Before we broke ground for the construction in 2022, Peace and Comfort sponsored its first free healthcare campaign in a remote village in Galla. I shared some of the pictures that you might have seen here on the screen. The team went into that village with medicine and all kinds of equipment, and they treated patients, they treated elderly people, they treated kids that without access to that kind of free healthcare, they probably would not have any treatment. And so now, as we speak, I am very proud to announce that a container of medical equipment and supplies just arrived in Cameroon yesterday. Thanks to our partners at Project Cure. And I do want to shout out our friend Alpha, who is the host, because Alpha introduced me to Project Cure. When I started this project, I was already making connections in China. I was talking to folks about making a trip to buy all the equipment and supplies and ship from China. And then he introduced me to Project Cure. Fast forward, multiple months later, we now have a 40-foot container of 50% equipment, 50% supplies sitting in Cameroon right now. And that means with that valuable equipment, we are scheduled to launch the hospital on October 26th of this year. This happens to be the 14th anniversary of my father's passing. So I feel incredibly proud that we will be launching the hospital in his honor. So I encourage you to spread the word and join us in any way you can, whether it's through donations, whether it's volunteering, or simply sharing the story. You can find more information on this on our website at www.pcheartfoundation.org. That's P for Paul, C for Charlie, pcheartfoundation.org. In closing, I want to thank all of you once again for being here tonight. All the honorees, congratulations. Keep doing the great work, keep impacting your communities. Alpha and the team at Excellence and Impact Foundation, you have my deepest gratitude. Together, we can make a difference, not just in the lives of others, but in the lives of everybody in our communities, far beyond Cameroon, across Africa, and the world at large. With that, I want to say thank you again for being here tonight. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and thank you.
The first recipient here tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and call on Chief, our one and only His Excellency Royal Highness Chief Emmanuel E.P.A.P. in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Please make some noise as we welcome His Royal Highness for all his work, for all his dedication to the community, both here in Arizona and in Cameroon. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Moyo, for recognizing me. Only it's unfortunate my wife couldn't be here today, and I wish you good luck in all your endeavors. God bless you. Great, thank you so much. Appreciate it. All right, the next award goes to Mr. Dr. Godwin Ngwe in the house. Dr. Godwin Ngwe in the house. Please come forward. Make some noise for Dr. Godwin Ngwe, ladies and gentlemen, for receiving the Excellence and Impact for Veterans Award.
So surprised and grateful for this opportunity. I wish I could say it in French too, but that's not been one of my fortes. But I'm so glad for all of you who are here, and I'm very grateful to Mr. Mulu for coming up with such an idea. The impact is grateful. Thank you.
The next award is going to Dr. Sam Azu in the house, one of the pillars of the community. A big advocate for so many different causes that he believes in at the state level, at the city level, and of course at the federal level. Congratulations, Dr. Azu, for being a recipient of the Pillar Award tonight.
Just want to thank the Excellence and Impact team for making it happen. This is really going beyond what you said. We, as the immigrants who moved here, it's a great opportunity which we have shared. Before even they came over, we had an African association here, which was encompassing every immigrant in Arizona. And we worked very hard with the refugees, the Lost Boys, and all other groups which have moved to Arizona. So it's very, very motivating. And we encourage Alpha Mulu and his team to continue the spirit of Mandelaism.
Thank you, thank you. All right.
All right, so without further ado, I will start with our first recipient of the night, who is, so this lady grew up in very difficult circumstances in a culture where women were expected to be child brides, women were expected to be accessories and not have a mind of their own. Women were expected to be the hanger-on and not be in charge of anything. And sometimes our culture or society facilitates this by being quiet. Sometimes being complicit just means not saying anything. And so this young lady grew up in a culture where she watched her older sisters and family members gradually just go off to the do-nothingness of life. And she decided not to be a mere statistic. She decided to make something out of her life and turn the pain that beset her into a platform to help other people. She went on to become a journalist in Sierra Leone, and she was named one of Sierra Leone's most influential women in 2021. She worked for the BBC, helping youth journalists and empowering young girls, created a non-profit, Hope Pathways, which empowers young women with self-esteem and to belong in the community. She is a former Mandela Washington Fellow. She is a Humphrey Fellow from Congress of Journalism, and she is currently, as we speak, a Thunderbird student. And let's welcome Ms. Mariatu Kawa, the Excellence and Impact Transformational student, up to the stage.
Mariatu Kawa is a dynamic leader dedicated to building supportive communities and sustaining societies. With a BA in Mass Communication from Fora Bay College and a Master's in Global Management from Thunderbird School of Global Management, she has been honored as one of Sierra Leone's 50 most influential women. Kawa excelled in the Hubert Humphrey Fellowship for Journalism and Communication at Arizona State University, earning a 3.75 GPA and receiving Outstanding Achiever Award. She is also a 2021 Mandela Washington Fellow from Rutgers University. Kawa founded StudyGo, a platform aiding African students in accessing global education, and Hope Pathways, a non-profit empowering over 2,000 women and girls in Sierra Leone. As a journalism mentor at BBC Media Action, she has enhanced the skills of over 200 local journalists. Her work and leadership continue to drive significant positive change.
Growing up as a child was extremely difficult. I became a woman before being a girl. I was only guaranteed a roof over my head, not even a place to sleep, to lay my head. But I always knew that education was my bailout. At an early stage, I said to myself, I'm going to make it a life mission to achieve 3 goals in life. Well, more, but 3 important ones. One was to be the first girl in my family to achieve a bachelor's degree. Standing here tonight, not only have I achieved that, but I'm doing my master's in global management at a prestigious seminary. Secondly, I say to myself, I'm gonna be the one to choose who I get married to and when. It's still in process. Single bonus actually. Lastly, I said to myself, I'm gonna help to bring about a solution to a problem that I encountered as a girl. Gender-based violence, societal pressure, and many more. As a result, as I mentioned, I've worked the last 10 years as a journalist, reporting on women and girls' rights issues. I create content that challenges stereotypes. I give platform to women and girls to voice out their inspiring stories. Women and girls who have challenged the protocols, who have gone through the non-traditional roles to show how powerful we all can be. So it's a honor for me, but more so, many other women who are out there thinking that because of their circumstances, there is no way out. If you're here tonight, or you might see this later, just know wherever you are, regardless of your state, you can improve, you can get better, and you can be strong. Thank you so much for this honor.
So our next honoree is Ms. Atsade Desta, who is not here tonight with us because she is celebrating a major milestone, but she has a representative. So let's set the stage here.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's now meet Mrs. Atsade Desta, the visionary founder of Café Ladibela, an Ethiopian cuisine, which is Arizona's first Ethiopian African restaurant. Since 1996, Atsade has shared her rich cultural heritage through authentic, flavorful dishes, earning acclamation and loyalty. Under her leadership, Café Ladibela has partnered with mainstream markets in 2014, expanded to California, Nevada, and Hawaii in 2019, received numerous awards including double gold medal at the VOA Culinary Classic in 2014, been featured in Phoenix News Times and Phoenix Magazine. Atsade has a guiding principle which is simple: feed strangers as you feed your own children. Her dedication to quality, community and cultural preservation has made Café Ladibela a beloved institution. The iconic Cultural Legacy Award honors Atsade's lasting impact on Arizona's culinary landscape and her tireless promotion of Ethiopian culture. Congratulations, Mrs. Atsade Desta.
Ladies and gentlemen, you all need to check out Café Ladibela. What's the cross street again? What's the cross street?
The University in Hardy, Tempe.
University and Hardy, Tempe. Café Ladibela, authentic Ethiopian, exquisite cuisine. Fantastic. All right. Okay, so who we got next? Well, so for those of us, I'm going to be a little biased about immigrants here. Because immigrants, we get to face a lot of hurdles when we are moving from one country to another, sometimes one continent to the other. And our next honoree here has spent her entire life, Ms. Jinizi Biagama, she has spent her entire life helping to set the stage, to create a soft landing and a buffer for those of us who come here without preparation. Sometimes we just have to leave because our home countries are beset with maybe political issues, economic issues, or we're just looking for better opportunities. And she has spent her entire life as a social worker to create that safe landing space for immigrants who come to Arizona, specifically Phoenix, to live a better life and thrive. As a social worker, she was part of the founding of the Valley-Wise Women's Refugee Clinic, through which she has continued to serve and provide assistance to African families resettling here in Arizona. We have been, as a matter of fact, we met about 15 years ago, 12 years ago, at a conference that was organized by Manitoba Community College. And I remember there were like 3 Africans in that audience. And so it was easy to, just say, hi, how are you? And we have kept in touch ever since. And our paths have converged because we're all in the business of serving other people for a purpose higher than ourselves. And through that partnership, we have partnered with the Fondation Bonation in Burundi, was the First Ladies Foundation to provide, critical care in partnership with our friends at Thunderbird for the 100 Millionaires Initiative, and we're just getting started. So without much ado, please can you welcome with a thunderous round of applause, Miss Jean Nizwi, our Excellence and Impact Building Bridges Honoree of the Night.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's now meet Jeanette Francoise Nizigi-Yimana, recipient of the Building Bridges Award. A renowned international medical, social worker and public health expert, Jeanette has dedicated 20+ years to serving underserved populations globally. Born in Burundi, her refugee journey fuels her passion for helping others. Currently leading Valley-Wise Center for Refugee and Global Health and chairing the Refugee Health Community Advisory Coalition, Jeanette's leadership promotes co-equal partnerships and culturally grounded community health programs. Co-founder of the Refugee Women's Health Clinic, Jeanette's impact is felt worldwide. Her multilingual skills and dual master's degrees equip her to build cultural divides. Jeanette's tireless efforts have improved lives, foster inclusive healthcare, and inspire a new generation of humanitarian leaders. Join us in honoring Jeanette Nizigi-Yimana's remarkable achievements and selfless dedication to building bridges between communities.
My journey began 25 years ago. Landing in this new country, my husband and I, carrying on our backs children, but even bigger dreams. Escaping war, we had dreams of building a life together in peace. As I reflect more on this word peace, or amahoro, is a word that has so much meaning to me. Amahoro, may peace prevail among you and those you love, is a greeting we use in my country. But amahoro is not just a greeting, it's a creed, a way of wishing those you love that same sense of peace. This reminds me of the proverb commonly used in our collective African community. It takes a village to raise a child. And yes, it does take a community to raise and help rise our communities and fellow communities around us. We do also have a saying that follows: you reap what you sow. Or simply, we can say, you share what you have. Today, let's connect, let's share, and let's shape. When I think of the work of my fellow honorees and myself that we engage in daily, I think of that word of peace, the word peace, in the context of the following words. act, partner, educate, mentor, build, promote unity to reach that peace we aim to build in the communities we belong. Being at the service of the community is the right thing to do, but being part of the community's histories, stories, and knowing the details regarding their struggles is more important, so that we can shape a system that is truly responsive to their lived experiences. There are concerns of irregularities and inconsistencies in what the experts view as good programs, and you risk losing your target goals. There are irregularities and inconsistencies in what the experts view as good programs. Please understand, and I beg you to lend my ears, because when you give me a chance to lead, I do lead. And I want to leave this stage after I have inspired someone. So don't be tired of me. I'm going to take only 5 more minutes, and I'll be out of here. So please understand that just because services or resources are available, it does not mean they are accessible to the individuals needing them most. We must constantly evaluate the degree to which those services are available to the people, then collectively start advocating for social justice and equity where resources are lacking. We must please not support policies that are in favor of the accumulation of wealth where the wealth is already accumulated. Please remember, we reap what we sow. So we must connect, we must share and shape. That's our motto from tonight. I professionally lead the Valley-wide Center for Refugee and Global Health, and my story is not unique to the patient I serve. It's a story that begins in a small country in East Africa called Burundi, a country with rich soil, beautiful rolling hills, and the most hospitable people on the continent. But I'm biased, of course. Most importantly, the country of my upbringing, with so many great virtues, the ones I lack the most being hardworking and courageous. As a refugee, my husband and I fought to escape the horrors of war, all in the search of that peace. Fast forward 20 plus years, and I stand before you today in the United States, a refugee turned into a healthcare leader and a citizen. What makes us unique at Valley-wide Health? We, the Center for Refugee and Global Health, get it. We have 3 main driving principles through our cultural health navigators best practice model: language justice, culture justice, and health equity. We respect one another, we trust one another, we understand one another, we accept one another, we educate one another, we connect and empower others so they can reshape their lives. This ecological framework has led us to quality patient experiences and outcomes. Sustainable development around the world has one enemy: inequities. I encourage all of you to be the change you want to see in the world. It may sound cliche, but it's the truth. In a country as commanding, as diverse and resourceful as ours, there are ways to make an impact. We must evaluate the ability our community fellows have to access and utilize resources and our community services. then constantly evaluate the degree to which these assets are available to them, then elaborate on the who, the when, the what, the why, and why some additional external factors are contributing to these disparities. To promote equity, be prepared to unveil hidden agendas and reveal the truth about a few and yet powerful individuals or groups who are at the root cause of the inequities we observe. What side are you on? Do you know what is needed? Is there any motivation to act? How much time will you invest in doing what is needed for change? Our communities cannot become what they cannot see. We must be that impactful bridge, the road to the pathway to success. Then they can say, I remember those before me, and I know I'm not alone. Please join in helping me change the rhetoric so the narrative informs the provision of equitable services. This means engaging in the discussion to create accessible, equitable services that are responsive to the population we are serving and representing. As I conclude, I will be remiss if I did not mention those that supported me along this journey. Thank you to the wonderful Glendale Elementary School District that allowed me to support my children in the classroom as a teacher assistant when I first arrived. Thank you to Catholic Charities of Arizona that gave me an opportunity to serve my community and faith. Thank you for the leadership of the former Maricopa Integrated Healthcare System, including Dr. Krista Johnson-Abaku. Her husband is here. He represented her well, and other doctors that brought me in as a partner and a force for change. Thank you to Valuers Health for giving me the opportunity to lead an exceptional, talented team of healthcare heroes. Thank you to all of my friends and extended family members gathered there. Thank you to the Excellence and Impact Foundation for prompting the amazing and necessary work of lifting leaders who are making waves in their communities. To my parent in memoriam. And finally, thank you to my husband, Deo Gracias.
Deo Gracias. Levez-vous, Deo Gracias.
Please rise.
Levez-vous.
Please rise.
Oh yeah, he's over there.
Yes.
Oh.
Thank you very much. He deserves all my love. He's a great community leader and a great father. I will owe him a big respect. We have a quote in our house from Nelson Mandela. I'm so happy you were talking about him because it looks like we were thinking alike. That quote says, you can see that there is no easy walk to freedom anywhere, and many of us will have to pass through the valley of the shadow of death and again before we reach the mountain tops of our desires. My husband, family, community, colleagues, and I have walked through that valley. Some of us have seen death, but we all are reaching our desires. Wishing you a mahoro, and may God bless you all and our communities.
Thank you. All right, that was
Ladies and gentlemen, can we give Ms. Jen another round of applause for pouring her soul and pretty much telling us her life story, her motivations, what led her to be the person she is today, and be a soft landing buffer zone for countless women and children and families through her work serving our community. Thank you, Ms. Jen. You are awesome. I will take my liberty here to deviate from the MC's instructions and our AB crew. We are supposed to work as a team, but now I'm flying solo, and I will interject by bringing somebody on stage that has a very personal impact on my life. This person has, let's just say, let me back up. I'm sure as human beings, we all have some dark times where there's uncertainty, we need some guidance and direction, and we need somebody to show us that we have options. So I want to bring up somebody who has been there for me for a very long time, has guided me professionally and personally, and till today remains a very trusted mentor. He is one of the community pillars in Arizona for immigrant Africans, and why we think it's important to respect our elders is an African traditional value, because we are raised to respect our elders. And the elders in this context are the forebearers who came to this state, who laid the foundation, they laid the foundation and they built the networks, the connections, they guided us, they were mentors, they showed us where to go, and I am living proof that you need mentors and the people that are going to help you get better. So without further ado, I will invite somebody here to get the award as one of the Excellence and Impact Forebearers Award, Chief Dr. Stephen Formation. Would you all give him a round of applause? So, you and I have a lot of colloquialisms. We have a lot of private. Somebody's laughing out there. We have a lot of, I guess, inside jokes that characterize our relationship. But I want to tell you that as one of the forebearers of this community, you are responsible for what I'm doing here today. You have been a mentor, you have been a guide personally, which is more important, but this man has spent countless hours with me, trying to help me find some guidance and direction in my life, and so I feel this is only good for us to recognize you as a forebearer for our community. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank the community here seated. The previous recipients said it all. You know, we have a lot to offer to our community, and I just want to appreciate this opportunity for us to be recognized in our community by our own people. Thank you very much, and we have more to do, and we have a long way to go. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Chief Dr. Stephen Formation. Okay. MC, can I move? Okay. So, I don't know about most of you, but hunger is a problem. Hunger means you don't have enough food to nourish your body to function at optimal capacity. Hunger is, so there are a lot of causes for hunger. It's depravity, it is lack of financial capacity, it is maybe you're born in wrong zip code. Well, in Africa, we don't do zip codes per se, so I'm just saying. But our next honoree is somebody who has a rather unfortunate but intimate relationship with the concept of hunger to survival. This dear lady grew up in a community in Nigeria where having basic nutrition was like winning the Nobel Peace Prize. This lady had to sneak out on a daily basis just to survive. And it is 2024. That's a human rights abuse by all counts. This lady took the pain that she felt as a young girl who was not able to have the privilege of a basic meal, and she turned that into her life's mission to end African children hunger in Nigeria. This lady felt the pain and the pinch of not having a meal, and she decided that she would do everything within her might to stop hunger. And I will just challenge you, our audience. It doesn't take much to start something. If you have something you want to do to change lives, all you need is the desire to start, the willingness not to quit. So there is the will to start, and there's the willpower not to quit. And I'm saying, this lady, anytime I talk with her, she just rejuvenates me and juices me up, because she is an example of the power of possibility. You just keep going. You just keep marching forward, because the mission ahead is bigger than yourself. And Ms. Franca really is our excellence and impact 2024 humanitarian honoree.
Founded in 2017 by Franca Adetunji, the End African Children Hunger Foundation is dedicated to combating hunger, malnutrition in Africa. Inspired by her early experiences in Nigeria, Franca's vision has transformed into a global effort, with End African Children Hunger Foundation operating in both the United States and Nigeria. The foundation's mission encompasses immediate relief through food donations, healthcare centers, and essential medical supplies, as well as long-term support through welfare programs, educational scholarships, and school renovations. Since its inception, End African Children Hunger Foundation has reached over 5,000 children from 1,500 families, providing not just sustenance but hope for a brighter future. With a commitment to integrity and accountability, End African Children Hunger Foundation continues to make a profound impact, striving to improve lives and strengthen communities.
Thank you, mommy. Thank you, mama. Thank you, daddy. Thank you, organizer. God bless you all. God bless you all.
Good evening, everyone. As you can see, I am humbled and honored to be in your presence this evening. And I see lots of honorees that have done great things and are still doing great things. Like we said, it takes a village to raise a child. And I'm just honored and humbled, to be recognized this way. I'm a little shy. I'm not, when you do a good work, you're doing it because you have the passion to do it, because it is what, you dream of, and it's your mission. And so being recognized here, I'm honored and I'm humbled. So thank you so very much. So how does this foundation came about? Alpha said, I was once, that child that had no food to eat. I was once that child that had to sneak out to a neighbor house to be able to have food to eat. And so it became a mission of mine, even as a child, that one day, if I ever have a little to give to a child that's my mission, is to end hunger facing children all over the world, and most especially in the remote part of Africa. And so I just, want to say, don't wait till you're a millionaire. Even here in the United States, there is hunger here facing children in this country, and we need to help. We need to help. We need to help. Okay? So, End Africa Children Foundation, we have different missions. Our first mission is to end children hunger, and then, we thought about, while you're ending children hunger, you also need to educate children, right? You have to educate them. And so we sponsor children in Africa to go to school, all the way to, for them graduating, secondary school. So that's our mission, not only to end hunger, but also to educate these children, because that's how they can break the cycle of poverty in their family. And so I just want to say thank you, Alpha, for giving us this opportunity. We also extend our help to the widows. We have widows on our payroll, that every month, we assist widows, to be able to have, 1 meal a day or 2 meal a day. So that's our mission. And so I just want to thank everyone here, and to all my supporters. Can you please all come to the stage? To all my board members, can you please all come to the stage? All my supporters, can you come to the stage? I just need them to just come later. So I just want to say, to all these people you're seeing here, these are my bedrock. These are the people that support me. I'll repeat again, it takes a village, and I can't do it all. No foundation can do it all by themselves. You need people, you need sponsors, you need partners, and you need supporters. And to all our donors and to all our supporters, thank you. And Alpha, you are such an amazing man, okay? Like the few, time that I've met you and we have talked, you have impacted my life.
Thank you.
And so I just want to thank you. And I want to thank you for the work that you're doing. And I pray that, God will continue to sustain you. Because in everything, we just have to give thanks to God, because He's our sustainer. So thank you. Thank you. Just one more thing. We have our gala coming up October 26th. You're all invited. It's going to be at the American Sports Center in Avondale, Arizona. You're all invited. Thank you so much.
Wow. Thank you very much, Ms. Franca Tunji. And
thank you, man.
Yes.
I appreciate it.
Absolutely. So, like she said, they have their gala coming on October 26th in Avondale, and I will put that information out there for any of you, to go support. Let's move on to somebody who has already been on the stage. It may sound like some kind of repetition, but my dear friend, my brother, my homie, Barney Bigger, as somebody that spends his days traveling from coast to coast, meeting executive board members and brokering deals, I gotta say your life is pretty fun, man. So we are encouraging all of our friends here to, aspire to be like this guy here. Barney Bigger is the Excellence and Impact Foundation Corporate Exec of the Year. The man is living a good life. So come on, man, come get your award. Put your hands together for Barney Bigger, Excellence and Impact Corporate Exec of the Year.
Meet Barney Bigger, Senior Vice President at Capital Group and visionary philanthropist. With 15 years of finance expertise, Barney drives business development with public pensions across the East Coast. His impressive background includes roles at Vanguard and Wells Fargo. Beyond finance, Barney's passion shines through his foundation Peace and Comfort, Heart and Medical, honoring his parents' legacy. He has built a state-of-the-art hospital in Douala, Cameroon, delivering healthcare for thousands. Barney's leadership extends to academia, serving on Florida International University's MS Finance Program Board. His achievements are rooted in academic excellence. MBA, Grand Canyon University, Bachelor's in Banking and Finance from the University of Bouye, Cameroon, and he is a designated Chartered Financial Analyst, Join us now in recognizing Barnes Mbinga's remarkable blend of financial acumen, philanthropic spirit, and dedication to empowering communities.
Thank you so much, Alpha, for the recognition. I guess, canceled flights and staying at shabby hotels sometimes is the good life. I'll take it. But anyway, you already heard enough from me. I just want to say it's an honor. It's a lot of hard work, as Alpha said earlier. When I moved here in 2012, he started calling me CEO. And that has never changed. And, obviously that inspired me, and I wanted to live up to that title. So my rise through the corporate world has been nothing short of hard work, resilience, determination. So I hope some of the folks in the room who are aspiring to climb the ladder can get inspired by that and put in the work that is required. Before I leave tonight, I want to go ahead and give a shout out to my soccer friends, my brothers, some of whom have been with me here in Arizona since 2012 and have seen me grow. Here tonight to support, thank you guys so much. You have been my foundation, you have been my support system, all the sleepless nights. I fall back to you guys for support, and so I want to say thank you again for coming out. Thank you.
All right, bro. Good. Okay. Who we got next? So, in African tradition, the word culture or tradition conjures up rather, I guess, weird, memories, whatever. But our next honoree here has found a way to make our African culture and tradition be sexy again. In Cameroon, for those of you who are not from Cameroon, we have a very revered tribe. It's called the people of Kom, and they are so in love with their tradition. Everywhere they go, that's all they show. Anywhere they go, they are brandishing and shining. And for Cameroonians or for people from Kom, they cannot wait for an opportunity to tell you how much they love to be what they call Komnamites. And here tonight, we have the curator of the Komnamite tradition.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we honor exceptional leadership and vision. Dr. Promise P.K. Young, National President of Afuacom USA Inc., has spearheaded remarkable growth and achievements over the past 2 years. Under his guidance, Afuacom USA has maintained fiscal excellence while fostering an inclusive community built on peace, love, and empathy. The virtual meeting house, a groundbreaking initiative, unites 484 members, the largest virtual gathering of Kom people in the USA. This platform bridges geographical divides, connecting members to their heritage and providing a space for knowledge sharing and collaborative growth. Dr. Young's leadership embodies Afuacom USA missions. His dedication has created a vibrant, supportive network that strengthens individual and community ties. Please join us in celebrating Dr. Promise P.K. Young's outstanding accomplishments, inspiring a brighter future for Afuacom USA and beyond.
Thank you so much, Alpha, for this wonderful surprise. I didn't realize you had put in so much effort to highlight what we do in our organization. And like he rightly said, I am P.K. Young, and I'm the National President of Afuacom USA. We are a cultural organization focused on projects that uplift us and change our communities back home and here in the USA. Like this year,
we were able to distribute 18,000 kilograms of fertilizers that touched the lives of the common man in the village, with the hope of driving down the price of a tin of corn from about 8,000 francs to about 4,000 francs. And we think that that's a way to change our communities. We were able to construct a bridge that will link farm to market for a population of about 3,000 people, and to provide portable water to other communities. We were also able here in the United States, for our parents that come to assist us, we launched a computer literacy program so that they can also be able to take their doctor's appointment by themselves without having to wait for their daughters or their sons to come back from work and set it up for them. So we launched a digital literacy program for our parents that come here to visit, and it has been wonderful. They can now check in at the airport. When they miss a flight in Europe, they can at least connect to Wi-Fi through the learning that they acquired in that program. And tonight, I am very, very elated to have seen that a lot of people are doing good work for the community. And I'd like to congratulate everyone that has already won an award tonight for the wonderful thing that you do. I want to take this opportunity to thank Alpha and the Impact and Excellence Award Foundation for shining the light on all this great work that our leaders are doing. I understand it is not easy to be a leader, because sometimes it feels very lonely. Sometimes you feel frustrated. Sometimes you feel like you are blamed for everything. And to sacrifice your time for no pay is never an easy thing to do, and not everybody can do that. So I want to really take this moment to thank you, Alpha, for considering me worthy to receive this recognition. And I want to say that this recognition actually goes to all my national executive members at Afuacom USA. It actually goes to all the volunteers of our organization. It goes to all our donors. It goes to all our chapter presidents and their executive members who work day and night to make sure that the mission of our organization is accomplished. This award, most importantly, goes to my father, the ordained author of my life, who passed away last November at the age of 102. And I lost my mom at the age of 10. And he's literally the one that raised me and inspired me into leadership and inspired me into community service. And above all, he taught me the best value to use as a leader. And that is the art of staying very truthful, no matter the storms. Voltaire put it even better, that as a leader, you must, it is not everything that is truthful that you have to say, but everything said must be truthful. And I know that some of us have received this award here tonight. It is because we were lucky to be picked. But most of you sitting down are leaders in some way. You are leaders, you are changing the community. And sometimes, as I said, when it is tough, we have to keep going. We cannot give up. And I know that one of my favorite smart guys once said, and that's I think Albert Schweitzer, he once said, I do not know what your destiny will be, but what I do know is that when those that will really be happy are those that find ways to give back and serve their communities. And this is best summed up in one of our proverbs in my tribal language that says, Wakuridra Kandi Sintro, meaning that if you harvest a fruit, do not forget to go back and take care of the tree. Let us serve our community. Let us give back to our community. Thank you so much for having me tonight.
Thank you very, very much, Dr. PK. So. All right. Okay. So, we're going to keep up real quick here. Education is the bedrock of civilization, which means if you do not know how to discern how to move, where to go, what you need, it means you are lost in la la land. And I want to bring up our Excellence and Impact Distinguished Educator Award to somebody who has spent their entire adult life educating other people. Dr. Jonas Luke came here today from Maryland. And yes, please give him some applause because that's quite a ways to travel. So Dr. Jonas Luke is the chair of the Maryland Public Health Association, and he has had just about any award you can think about in nursing and public health. He holds professorships at about 15 different universities worldwide, and he is currently the chair of the Applied Mental Health Caucus of Applied Health in Maryland. So Dr. Jonas Group spends his time lecturing, traveling, providing curriculum assistance to different universities and colleges across the country to improve on their processes. And he specializes in preventative healthcare and maternity, mortality issues. So, Dr. Jonas, if you are in the building, and I'm sure you are, please can you come up to the podium and accept your award for the Excellence and Impact Distinguished Educator Award. Please put your hands together for Dr. Jonas Ngo.
Dr. Jonas Ngo is a distinguished global health scholar and practitioner specializing in health systems strengthening across sub-Saharan Africa. His work encompasses maternal and child health, immunization, family planning, nutrition, water sanitation, malaria prevention, and pediatric HIV care. Currently, Dr. Ngo serves as president of the Maryland Public Health Association and policy chair of the Men's Health Caucus of the American Public Health Association. Previously, he was executive dean at the University of Providence. With a PhD in public health and multiple master's degrees, Dr. Ngo has taught and worked in over 20 countries and hold professorships at 6 international universities. He has received numerous awards, including the Lillian Ward Award, Social Impact Award, and the Florence Nightingale Star Nurses Award. In 2023, the University of Dundee honored him with an honorary Doctor of Laws degree for his contributions to public health.
So all through my life, I think I have kept that vision in front of me, and it has resulted in many of the works that I've done now, the places I've gone to. I teach at 6 international universities. I sit on a committee for WHO, and I come from a small little town in Cameroon where we probably even have one stoplight, and we probably know every single person that lives in there.
One of the things that I am most proud of, and that gives me the greatest fulfillment, besides the fact that I've taught in over 21 countries, besides the fact that I've achieved about 18 plus awards, and besides the fact that in 2015 I designed a new model for maternal homes which so far has been replicated in 5 different sub-Saharan countries, with evidence indicating that over 2.5 million women have received services from those homes. Besides all of that, my greatest joy and satisfaction is when I see my students succeed. Every one of us in this room has been impacted by a teacher. And a teacher is not necessarily in the classroom. It could be somebody that taught you how to ride a bike, somebody that taught you how to cook, somebody that taught you a skill. So if we want us, I want each and every one of us to look back and identify that one individual or person who made a great impact in your life and tell them thank you. For me, I have that honor that the job that I do continues to make a significant difference in the lives of my students, and they are able to go out and transform the world. Thank you all very much. Thank you.
Okay, well, Dr. Johnson, thank you very much, and that was a good rendition of the spirit of service and humanity, because again, it's all about paying it forward. You know, sometimes people say it's giving back, and giving back means you took too much. So I believe paying it forward, you know, you pay it forward. Just, you know, a little hint. All right, here we go. Next. I will put a little disclaimer on our next honoree, because our next honoree is so steeped and dipped in value and tradition that he decided not to provide us a photo for this award. Our next honoree is a Pan-African at heart, which means that they espouse the values of Pan-Africanism, believing that the African continent is like one country, it's like the United States. Even though we have 54 or 55 countries, but this honoree just believes that our African continent is one, and we all have to treat it as one. He does not go for ethnocentrism, and he has done, for the last 20 to 30 years, he has been at Thunderbolts of Global Management, teaching political economy, helping students from the African continent realize the dreams of startups and connecting the realities of concepts to execution of dreams, facilitating clinics, going to South Africa and helping people, you know, women and children realize how they can go from ideation to execution. And Dr. Femi Babarinde also spent a lot of his time as the president of AFASA, the African Association of Arizona. And I would just say, for some of you who have not been to those meetings, please try to attend, because it is one of the few ways that we can build a stronghold on our traditional values of maintaining things that matter to us. So Dr. Femi Babarinde is the Excellence and Impact Honoree Lifetime Achievement Award for spending more than 30 years of his life dedicated to education and providing support and guidance for our African immigrants here and in Africa. So without further ado, please can you welcome Dr. Femi Babarinde to the stage.
Good evening, everybody. Foremost, I would like to commend Mr. Alpha Muller on this August occasion for assembling all of us here this evening to commemorate the work of this incredible organization. Excellent and impact. What a beautiful name for an organization. And I'd like to say to you, Mr. Alpha Muller, you are doing an awesome job. And I commend you, and I encourage you to continue and to not let up. Something you said earlier about the willpower to start and the resilience to remain and not give up. So I encourage you to continue to heed your own counsel in this regard.
Yes,
so
sir.
Congratulations to you.
Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you.
I would also like to say thank you for recognizing me this evening. I would have been here even if I were not receiving any recognition. I am flattered and honored at the same time by this recognition. As you said, and you and I went back and forth, my predication about this award, twofold. One, when I do things, it's not about me. I do not wish to put myself in the limelight. I prefer to work in the background by way of helping and supporting other people. So what we've done in Arizona since I moved here in 1990, when I joined the Thunderbird faculty, I became a member of the Thunderbird faculty in 1990. That's what brought me to Arizona from Ohio when I was recruited. And what has motivated me, inspired me, is about how to help Africa. And the reality is this, folks, from academic writings and so forth. In the 1960s and 1960s, the decade of independence in Africa, 10 African countries per capita income surpassed the per capita income of Indonesia, Singapore, Malaysia. Today, the per capita income of those countries more than surpassed collective number of African countries. If you look at the world of poverty, 1 in 3 Africans exist in extreme poverty. Of the 26 countries designated by the World Bank Group as the poorest countries in the world, low-income countries, of the 26 in the current classification, only 3 of them are non-Africans. So when we sit here, I'm a little bit conflicted. When I moved here in 1990, as Dr. Sam Ashu mentioned earlier, we founded this African Association of Arizona in 1992. At the time, it was the only thing in town for Africans. We knew how many Africans were around. Then the population exploded by the mid-1990s, and folks found a way into their own national and ethnic-based association. And they formed those associations, and they're thriving, and it's fantastic. Those of us who remained with the African Association were Pan-Africanists. We believe in the unity of the African society. Not that we reject the ethnic or the national, no. It's just that they are not mutually exclusive. They're actually complementary of one another. So that's one of the reasons we try to keep the flame alive for the African Association of Arizona, to collaborate with organizations like Excellence and Impact to promote Africans in the diaspora. When I looked at the mission of Excellence and Impact, after Mr. Mono and I met for the first time earlier this year, we realized how much we had in common. Because the African Association of Arizona, which was founded in 1992 and has existed continuously since, is about promoting the awareness of African and African cultures in Arizona through educational and cultural activities. So that's where he and I felt the connection, that there's a whole lot we could do together in that space. So part of my pre-education is about the growth of the population of Africans in the community. It's a double-edged sword. It's good on the one hand because you see fellow Africans that you could relate to. On the other hand, you look at the continent of Africa, we need a lot of our own people that could give back to the community. So my challenge to all of us here, and I love what I'm hearing, the keynote speaker, what he's doing with his foundation, the hunger, feeding people in Africa, in Nigeria, and so on and so forth. The journalists, that's wonderful. But here's the thing. My challenge here is this: according to research, most African businesses or organizations do not survive their owners or founders. What you want to do is not only to keep the flame alive, but to consider how your organization that you created transcends your transition. That is key. How do you make sure that it continues beyond your demise? Because that is a great challenge, according to research about African businesses. When the owner founder passes on, sooner or later, the organization disappears. So you want to think forward about how to sustain that organization. What you're doing right now is incredible. But think about sustainability, how you sustain it beyond you. There's a saying, a goal without a plan is a dream. A plan without a goal is a nightmare. Have a plan of action in terms of what you want to achieve. 1 in 4 African students, when they came to the United States up until the late 1980s, returned to Africa afterwards. Today, 3 in 4 Africans stay and do not return. So that is some of the challenges that we face as Africans. But I do not want us to be seductively entrenched and fixated on those challenges. I'd like to be able to say that we're doing fantastic, incredible things as Africans in the community. But what we give back to the community, back home, how do we elaborate those and make them sustainable? Those are the challenges for us as Africans. At Thunderbird, I was fortunate to be able to take students to Africa, South Africa and Kenya. I created those courses in the hopes of putting Africa on the radar of future managers and leaders of corporations and organizations. Not because I didn't take them to Nigeria, my home country.
Can we summarize?
But I do take them to, I did take them rather to places like South Africa and so forth. And over there, we were able to put Africa on the radar, so that many of those students have since returned to Africa, or they are working with Africa in different capacities. So those are the sort of things that we should think about. Even if we're here, what do we give back that could be sustainable and impactful on the content of Africa?
Awesome.
Thank you very much. I would be remiss if I didn't say this. The African Association, unashamedly, I'm going to quote this. The African Association of Arizona has an event coming up on the 26th of October. It is an old school party thing. If you're interested, I'll be sending information to Mr. Alfamolo. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Femi Lorene, and that's your little goodie. It was nice. Oh, picture. Oh, this? I gotta do this? Okay. All right. Okay, so I really appreciate your flexibility, and it looks like we're back in grade school. Everyone's listening so well, and we're all being courteous. Sometimes in life, some people find their inspiration by isolation. And by isolation, I mean you go someplace and you don't see something that you like, or you don't see something that fits you, or you feel like you want to play football, but they say they are playing soccer. Our next honoree here may have found something that is transcending our communities because he probably felt slighted or isolated. And I am being specific in terms of fashion, which means that this person went somewhere and maybe was not able to find an outfit that they liked, and they decided to create one. Why? Because the brevity sometimes is the precursor for ingenuity. It means if I can't find something, I will make something to fill the void. And sometimes it's not about a problem, it's about a void. For example, the Excellence Impact Foundation, We are not solving a problem, we are filling a void. Yeah, we are not solving any problem. We just feel like, as immigrant Africans, we don't take the time to celebrate ourselves. We don't take the time to encourage each other. We are shooting rockets to the moon when all we need to do is call somebody on the phone. That's a metaphor for what we do here. So let's take it easy, celebrate each other, support each other, check in with each other, inspire, motivate, build a community, and connect with positive change makers back on the continent, and we'll build an ecosystem that thrives well beyond our existence. I digress. So let me get back. Mr. Edmond Galla was sitting there where they had, and let me just tell everybody here, he used to be my boss. About 6 years ago, he was my boss. Maybe 7. You know, I guess you're my boss, you're always my boss. Yeah, I have to say that to everybody. Yeah, he was my boss. He actually wrote my paychecks for a while. You didn't know that, right? Now you do. And it's right there. And he decided that he needed some unique style that was going to represent his aspirations, his true value, his true essence as a black man, an African from Cameroon, from the Northwest Province. And because he didn't find it, he went out to make it. Whatever he made of it, I'll let him tell us. So without further ado, I would like you all to give our Excellence and Impact Fashionista honoree a round of applause to tell us how African about.
Meet Edmond Galla, founder of African Rich Clothing brand, celebrating African heritage through modern trendy designs. Edmond's vision arose from a lack of quality, culturally representative clothing. Overcoming challenges, Edmond utilized personal savings, family support, and business loans to establish the brand. Strategic social media engagement, trade shows, and collaborations have driven growth. African Rich combines traditional African patterns with modern silhouettes, supports fair trade practices and sustainable production, empowers self-expression through fashion, donates 5% of sales to African orphanages. The logo's significance: green signifies fertility, yellow indicates natural world, red highlights natural hero sacrifices. Edmond's dedication to cultural diversity, inclusivity, and community impact earned him the Fashionista Award. Congratulations, Edmond Galla. Join African Rich in celebrating African culture and promoting creativity. Shop trendy, meaningful clothing. You could visit their website for more information.
Alright, here we go. Fashionista Excelente. Make it up.
Listen, this guy is filled with like crazy, you know. But I'm gonna keep my speech really short. I know a bunch of you guys are trying to dance. I'm trying to dance, okay? This is gonna be really quick and short. Alpha Mulu, I've known you for a long, long time. Thank you for having this event, excellent and impact event. This is like amazing. This is probably the first one that I've been to, and really honored to be here. I want to thank all of the honorees. You guys do way better things than I am doing. I'm so passionate. Y'all are doing big things, saving lives, bringing water, clothes, hospitals, medicines. I like fashion, okay? So in short, I just wanted to create a word. So when I came here, I was looking for like trendy African fashion. And all I could find was like some doggos and all this outfits. Like, no. I want something sexy, something cute, something hot. So that's how African Rich came about. So African Rich, really short, our rich culture, our values, you know, the people, the food, the music, super rich. So it's like African Rich. And that's the name of the brand. You guys check it out. We have outfits like this, and we have casual trendy outfits like hoodies, jackets, t-shirts, every outfit for every different like vacation. If you want to be home chilling, you have an African Rich. You want to go out looking like me, you go on to this level. So I want to thank everyone that helped me with this process. A bunch of guys have bought a lot of merch. All my guys back there, my family, my friends. East Valley, they bought a lot. So thank you, Alpha. This is the Buddha.
Yeah. So there's something about originality. It is the road less traveled. It is very easy and very convenient for somebody to copy a code that somebody created. But when somebody decides to go out on a limb, knowing the hurdles that face them, that is the true testament of ingenuity. And I gotta tell you, man, you know, we're proud of you. Well, as far as our honorees go and awards go, I think that was the last one for the night. But I do have something that I want or I would like for you to listen to. So today, we got a proclamation from the governor of Arizona, Katie Hobbs, recognizing our own Excellence and Impact Foundation for the work we do, promoting, highlighting the tremendous contributions through the tenacity and the ingenuity of immigrant Africans to this great state of Arizona. And the proclamation reads thus: whereas the Excellence and Impact Foundation highlights, honors, elevates, and celebrates great contribution of immigrant Africans to Arizona, whose resilience, innovation, and cultural diversity have significantly enriched the state of Arizona, and whereas Africans play a vital role. Can we hear that again? A vital role. Vitality is the source of life. So we play a vital role to this great state. Can we say that again? So you're all vital to this state. Okay? I'll summarize. Whereas the Excellence and Impact Foundation Day celebrating immigrant Africans is an opportunity to honor the contributions, accomplishments, achievements, heritage, and legacy of African immigrants, acknowledging their contributions to the growth, development, collective prosperity of our community, recognizing their resilience to overcome challenges. Whereas this day serves as a reminder of the importance of acceptance, tolerance, unity, diversity, inclusivity, values that are essential to the continued progress and success of our community. Now therefore, I, Katie Hobbs, Governor of Arizona, do hereby proclaim today Excellence and Impact Foundation Day, and I encourage all residents to join in recognizing and celebrating the excellence and impact of immigrant Africans in our community. Thank you. And if my team will cue up our remarks from Kate Gallego, the mayor of Phoenix. There you go. Boom.
Good evening. I'm Kate Gallego, the mayor of Phoenix. Congratulations on this inaugural evening of Excellence and Impact Community Awards. As mayor, I've championed support for small businesses of all sizes because each of you are vital to keeping this city running. A little secret, I had plans to be an entrepreneur before I went on the path to mayor. That's why I'm so fond of programs driving results at the city, including the Kiva program, offering crowd-funded microloans up to $15,000 for startups and entrepreneurs. No interest and no fees. When entrepreneurs receive a no from traditional banks due to ever-changing credit requirements, we can say yes. Phoenix Biz Connect is a technology-driven online business platform that already has assisted more than 1,000 small businesses. It helps folks locate grants and connect with other entrepreneurs. It's available in Spanish and English, which is especially meaningful when 50% of those thriving with this tool are women of color. I want to see small businesses of all sizes succeed in Phoenix. Just this month, Acres by Archwood Exchange, I got to help open the Buy Black Marketplace in the historic Pickle House on Van Buren. Like many of our successful small businesses, the reward is watching growth happen from idea to first transaction to growing and hiring. Congratulations to tonight's award recipients. I wish you an incredible evening.
All right. All right. Well, thank you very much, our mayor of Phoenix, Kate Gallego, and from our honorable governor, Katie Hobbs. We appreciate the inclusivity and the diversity and some of us are privy to the work that they do to open up the tent to get more people like us to be part of the decision-making process that builds on the community. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say from the bottom of my heart, I am extremely honored and excited that you all came here today. This has been a dream come true for a very long time. I used to procrastinate a lot about wanting everything to align perfectly until I found out that there is no perfect day. If you want something, you go for it. It's never going to be perfect. And thank you very much for coming out here. We are just sowing the seeds, and this is the first. And next year, we're going to do it bigger, better, faster, stronger, higher, you name it, we got it, you drop it. Thank you.